Previewing week 2 of college football here at SBR Forum Videos. I'm Peter Loshak, and we've got Craig from Right Angle Sports joining us on the phone. He's going to do a preview with us. Craig very generously gave us 2 winners last week, including probably the sharpest side of the whole card, Texas State. Craig, thanks for being here once again. And the game you chose to discuss is Air Force at Michigan. Now, Michigan, of course, 21-point home favorite. Of course, this is a classic, services game as a big underdog against a marquee team. Michigan, of course, coming off the shellacking at the hands of Alabama. The main question is Michigan a mess or are they okay? If they're a mess, then obviously Air Force plus 21 probably has great value. If Michigan is okay and will dominate in terms of on-field athleticism and talent, then they might get a cover here. How do you see this game?
I like Michigan at 21 or minus 21 or better, and it's more a play against Air Force than it is on Michigan. Air Force just has a lot of injuries, and they didn't return many starters from last year, so they returned 3 offensive starters, 2 defensive starters from last season. They actually kicked 5 guys off their team in early August, and they run the option attack, of course. So they lost 3 out of their 5 offensive linemen, and then from last year, and then their starting center actually got hurt last week.
Right.
In addition to that, one of their starting receivers got hurt last week, and he actually had 4 catches for 78 yards in the first half only. So looks like that could be a pretty big loss here because I guess Air Force will probably have to throw a little more than usual. Now you look at Air Force's game last week and say, oh, they look like they're fine. They averaged 8 yards a carry, and they had almost 500 yards rushing. But they played Idaho State, and if you look at Idaho State a little bit, they were actually 116th in the FCS last season in rush defense, and they lost 7 stars from their defense. So you're probably talking about one of the worst rush defenses in the entire FCS, and then in turn in the entire country. So Michigan should do a better job at stopping the run, obviously, than Idaho State will. But I think Michigan can move the ball at ease here as well. Air Force gave up, 431 yards last week to Idaho State. The completion percentage for Idaho State's quarterback is actually about 80%. And I think Denard Robinson, I think he's going to play a little bit better against a team like this than a team with a more athletic, big, fast defense. And that's because I don't think he's very accurate. But against a team like this, the receivers should be more open. He should be able to run the ball better. He's definitely going to look better than he did against Alabama last week. So I would lean with, I play at Michigan minus 21. And I'd also lean with the over just because I think Michigan's going to score a lot of points. And Michigan did lose starting cornerback last week, too, for the season against Alabama, which is a pretty big loss. So over's probably worth a look as well.
All right. Well, I guess a lot of people look at games like this and, they think that the conventional sharp wisdom is whenever you have a team that plays a triple option as a huge underdog, that's always the sharp side. But in this case, you would disagree with that reasoning.
I do disagree with that reasoning, and it's just a totally different Air Force team than it was last season. The line would have been in the 17 to 18 range probably if they played last year at the end of the season. So you have to be able to justify a 3 or 4 point difference, and I definitely think Air Force is at least 4 points worse than they were last season. So
all right, well, there you go.
That's what I'm going with.
I'm sorry?
I said that's what I'm going with.
All right, well, we trust you in Right Angle Sports implicitly. So if you say Michigan's the side, then Michigan minus 21 is the side. Thanks, Craig.